Well, good morning, everyone. It's another fantastic Monday morning here at Health Plan Markets. Thank you guys very much for being here after an exciting Super Bowl weekend. Really great game. I hope you guys got to enjoy that. And the Chiefs are champs. So, how about that? But we are here to improve the lives of our community with affordable health care. And that is our mission. That's our Super Bowl. And that's what we're looking to become champions of. So, really appreciate everyone participating and being here this morning. And as a reminder, these calls are being recorded and posted on YouTube. So if you're not on our YouTube channel, go out there and subscribe. And if you want to be notified, there's a little bell that you click and they'll let you know when we have a new call available. So just in case you're in a meeting or you're with a client, on Monday mornings, which does happen, we don't want you to miss out on these calls. So there it is. Very exciting. We do have a special guest this morning that will come on in just a few minutes. We have Miss Heidi Sierra, our friend at Florida Blue, and she's going to give you the updates and the scoops on what's happening over there at Florida Blue Medicare. And so you'll have some, if you have any questions or concerns for her, please make sure that you pay attention and we'll get you her contact information so we can connect you there. But it's all about learning in this business, guys. We have to continue to keep one foot in the classroom and the other one in the field at all times. And this morning, I'm having a little bit of technical difficulty, so I'm going to do my best to try to share my screen here. For some reason, it just doesn't like my computer this morning, so I'm going to do my best here. And where are we? Okay, yeah, there it is. All right, so on the calendar this week, it's Valentine's Day week. So thank you guys very much for obviously partnering with us. And, we want to show our love this week. So thank you very much. We very much appreciate everything that you do for you and your clients. And just something to think about. What are you going to do for your clients this week? And there's pretty, uh, a pretty big local celebrity lawyer in town that every year he puts up his billboards, Dan Newland here in Orlando. And it's a big billboard, and all it says is "I love my clients," and it's a Happy Valentine's Day, and he runs it for, pretty much the whole month of February. So, what are you doing to show your appreciation for your clients? What are you doing? So think about that. This morning, United Healthcare is doing a training at 10 a.m. And this is on their new U card, which is caused a little bit of confusion, but this is where they're going to be able to access those additional benefits. So if you need a little bit of a deep dive there, that's happening this morning at 10 a.m. You can click on the calendar link and we'll get you over there. And by the way, if you don't have access to the calendar, just shoot us an email at support@askhpm.com. We'll get you hooked up with the calendar so you can register for these trainings. Also, you've got United Healthcare doing virtual hours later today at 4 o'clock. So if you have any issues, frequently asked questions, or you just need some guidance, they're going to be available today at 4 o'clock, and then also on Friday from 3 to 5. So they're doing those virtual hours to make themselves accessible to you. That's for anyone, anywhere, for anything United. Okay. Moving over to Tuesday, tomorrow, Valentine's Day, Cigna's doing their virtual office Medicare questions. So if you have any questions for Cigna specifically, they will be ready to go tomorrow. And then they're also doing another session on Wednesday at 12:30. So those are the dates for that. Moving over to Wednesday the 15th, Humana's doing their benefit and retention review. Another training, guys, about retention. We are in OEP right now for Medicare. And those of you that are in ACA, you just enrolled a bunch of people. Now it's time to make them sticky. How do we get them to stick to you, right? One of the ways to do that is appreciation, calling them, building on the relationship that you did when you first met them. And that also generates referrals. So take a look at that training. Humana's got some good ones there. That's on Wednesday at 10 o'clock. Also on Wednesday, 10:30, United Healthcare is doing an ancillary benefit discussion. So if you're looking to, beef up on your ancillary knowledge, there it is, 10:30 on Wednesday. And then on Wednesday as well, 2 o'clock, special needs webinar from Humana. So special needs plans, We're getting ready to go into lock-in, which starts April 1. You got to really know what's going on with special needs because these plans will enable you to enroll folks year round and help people year round, to a degree that if you get so good at it that AEP really isn't a thing anymore for you. You know, AEP is just going to be the gravy on the biscuits, if you will. If you're constantly going out there and helping those that need it most, I promise you, you will get 10, 15, 20. At one point, I was doing 25 sales a month just from helping those with special needs, Medicare, Medicaid. We do have a new program coming out soon that will be a lead generation opportunity for those of you that are familiar with DSNPs and Medicaid and LIS and extra help. So if you're not keen on that, please learn it. This is a great webinar to attend Wednesday, 2 o'clock. Moving over to Thursday, Jacksonville Devoted team is doing a broker coffee and chat session. That's for the Jacksonville market, but everyone is welcome. That's at 11:30 on Thursday. And that's pretty much it for the week there for training. Just remember, guys, we want to keep one foot in the classroom and the other one in the field at all times. Please don't forget that. It's really, really important that we get that done. Talking about events, this is a really great opportunity for you to grow your events and start building a pipeline. Okay. Now, I had mentioned in the last call that we have our event management form, which did move. So some of you have the old link, and so this is it here. If you have any events or if you're needing help to create events, we can help you with this. Some of you are doing reoccurring events. You have maybe 20 events going on in a month. It would be a lot of work to enter those in individually. So I wanted to point out that we do have a bulk upload sheet here. So you can grab that, copy, paste it, and put it in the spreadsheet. But again, if you need help, just let us know. We're happy to help you with this stuff. But we do need to know if you have events going on because A, we want to help promote them, and B, we want to keep you compliant. So please make sure that you're filing those events. And also, I wanted to show you in the CRM system that you have access to. Looks like it kicked me out here. Let me see if I can restart it. So with the CRM system, I'm going to go over to the demo section here. You'll be able to create event-specific consent to contact forms. And if you remember, this is going to give you the ability to basically bird dog different sources. So I'll show you here very quickly how to do that. Let's say, again, you have a church event and it's a church food drive. So I'm going to type in church food drive. And if you want to make it specific, let's say it's specific to that day. You're doing it and you want to track all of your efforts that day. Today's the 13th, so we're going to put 02 13 23, and you hit add source. Now, this created an actual URL for you that you can create on your phone or iPad. And then anyone that says, yes, I'm interested in talking to you about my Medicare insurance, you can collect it right here. And that gives you consent to contact, which is the first step in your compliance. But it also helps build out a profile for that member in your CRM system. So you can now send a needs assessment so they can punch in their drugs and doctors and all that fun stuff. But it's really, really helpful to do that. So one thing that I wanted to point out here today is under the Spark, you've got, your dashboard. And it's something I don't see a lot of people talking about yet. And it could be because it's kind of, I don't know, it could be a little intimidating, if you will. But you're going to scroll on down on the left side, you see dashboard here. And I'm back in my demo here. So you can see in the dashboard very quickly, and this is something that we've always wanted. Every day you can come in here and see how many total clients you have on your book, okay? How many clients you added in the last 30 days, and how many total prospects do you have that you're working on to help turn into those clients. Now, those of you that have known me a while, I had talked about there's really only two buckets that you need to, or two lists that you need to manage. Those on your prospecting list and your clients. if your clients disenroll, you put them back on your prospecting list. And if a prospect enrolls, you put them on their client list. And that's really all there is to it when it comes to managing how you're growing your book of business, to simplify it. Now, what the CRM system does is it shows you how many prospects you have, how many clients you have. Now, if you don't have any prospects, then obviously you don't have anybody in your sales pipeline, and that's not good. So you got to get out there, you got to get events, you got to meet people, you got to talk to your clients, you got to ask for referrals, and this is how you're going to grow your pipeline. And so you can really track how many prospects you have. So if you have a goal of 100 prospects in your pipeline at all times, then obviously you're able to track that very, very easily. As you scroll down, you can see what states you're selling in. Some of you are selling in multiple states, so you can see, where the majority of the business. In this instance, this agent is selling a lot in California, probably lives there. So there it is. When you move over to the right side, you can see those of you that are bilingual, you can see who's speaking English, who speaks Spanish, what percentage of your book of business is bilingual. And then it shows you by carrier, what plans you're selling. It looks like, United Healthcare is a big one there. But you can see on a percentage board, across the board, what do your plans look like? What do you sell the most of? And then break down by policy type. You've got MA, Medicare Advantage plans, obviously PDP, and then other. So you can manage those there. You can also see the average age of your clients, who's 65 to 70, you got about 370 folks there. So you can see actually your book of business age, which is really interesting because if you look at this chart, you've got this agent has a lot of younger folks, which is great. This means that the book of business is going to last quite a bit of time. But if you notice that your book of business is towards the back here, you really got to start ramping up that new business, right? Because the inevitable is coming. So you want to make sure that you're doing that right. You got member services there, and then the outreach campaigns, which is really important. Those of you that have enrolled in additional services such as the handwritten birthday card that we take care of, that's in there too. But you can see when postcards are mailed, emails are sent out, and you can kind of track how many emails were sent out, how many postcards are sent out right on your dashboard. If you're using member services to handle your member services issues, then you can see inbound, outbound tracking, how many calls coming in, how many calls going out to your members. So you can track that as well. And then ticket requests as well. Where are you having issues across your book of business? And that's something to, if you see a trend of provider search, that maybe you need to spend a little bit more time with your clients on the presentation side, talking about the provider searches and things like that. But it gives you a lot of different things. Here's just another view of that on a percentage basis, and then your full book of business across the plans. You're also able to track, your churn rate, which is important. If anybody's switching from plan to plan, we always like to track that information. So check out the dashboard on Spark, dive deep into it, and see, how that can help you kind of have a better view of your book of business, because that's really important. You want to make sure they have good eyes on that stuff. So with that, I am going to invite Heidi from Florida Blue. Is Heidi on the line? Okay, 201. I found her here. Let me see if I can unmute you. Heidi, are you there?
Thank you. Yes, I'm here. Good morning. I think I was muted.
Yes, you were. I got you now. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for being on the call. And again, guys, just a quick introduction. This is Heidi Sierra from Florida Blue, and she's going to reintroduce herself. I know she's had a few changes since the last time that we talked. So, Heidi, take it away. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Good morning. Heidi Sierra, broker manager for Florida Blue Medicare. So thank you, Justin and HPM, for the opportunity to stick to the team. Yes, I've had some changes of territory here and there. I was in the villages. They put me in Orlando. They put me back in the villages. So I do have Lake Marion, Sumter, and Polk County, but I am taking care of the Health and Markets group. So all agents, regardless of what county you reside, if you are a Health and Market agent, I'm still your broker manager, okay? That is a special arrangement just for this group. So again, even though I'm the manager of the other areas, not Orlando anymore, I don't oversee Orlando anymore, I'm still going to be taking care of Health Plan Market. So that will continue.
Thank you.
So I wanted to, you're welcome. Thank you for having me. So I just wanted to go over a few reminders because I'm still finding agents that don't understand that we are independent for the Medicare side, and it still kind of gets me every time I hear it. I actually had an agent that went through my training, and even after the training, she still didn't understand she could contract. So I just wanted to put it out there just in case if we have any holdouts.
Mm,
Please know that with Florida Blue, independently, you can contract with the Medicare side only. The under 65, that's still captive, unfortunately. We're going to keep fighting for you for that piece of business. But in the meantime, I want you to know that you can contract with Florida Blue for the Medicare side. Just keep in mind that Florida Blue, Blue Cross and Blue Shield has a huge brand recognition, not only on a state, but at a countrywide level. Everybody knows Blue Cross and Blue Shield. We have a great network with Orlando Health, Advent, UF, University of Florida. We have Shands in Gainesville, Moffitt Cancer Centers in Tampa. And I just wanted to put it in your mind that our HMOs can travel around the state. That's something that I've been hearing from other agents as well. There's some of the payers are kind of restrictive on the HMO area. We are not. So if you reside in Orlando and you have Florida Blue Medicare and you want to see a specialist in Miami, or if you want to go to Jacksonville to see a doctor or go to the Moffitt Cancer Centers in Tampa, no one is stopping you, okay? So they do have that freedom to move around the state. Keep in mind that some of our HMOs have chronic benefits embedded, like 20 meals sent to their house per month. So Justin was talking about, we're coming into lock-in. Let's get better on the DSNP, and also on those people that maybe don't qualify for the DSNP, but we can help them as well. So talking about the DSNP, keep in mind that we take all levels of Medicaid in the complete plan, okay? So we have no cost share or on the medical side or the medication side, and that applies to both full and partials. Again, we do not charge partial for the cost share of medications or for the medical side either. So no outpatient, no ambulance copays, no emergency copays. So keep us in mind for those partial Medicaids that you come across. Also keep in mind that we have one of the highest selling PPOs right now in the state with no premium. You have in-network doctors in 48 states and Puerto Rico. If you haven't heard, Florida Blue purchased Triple S in Puerto Rico, which is a Blue Cross and Blue Shield brand. And I'm saying this because this is an Orlando group, and I'm sure you guys come across a lot of Puerto Ricans in the area.
yep.
Just to want to put it out there so you can have it in your tools, in your toolbox, right? That's what we
Yep.
want to make sure that, like Justin said, keep working the field, but keep a foot on the training. You need to make sure what's happening in the classroom.
Yep.
And I'm going to close it up with 2 incentives that we're continuing. So I just want you to know so you don't miss out, especially now, like we're heading to lock-in. So we're continuing the $200 HRA. So in order for you to claim it, you have to submit the application through our electronic portal application, through Florida Blue Portal. So I know there's Sergio mentioned there's some kind of arrangement between you guys that you guys are going to track it somehow, and I can definitely help you with that. So any questions on that, I'll refer you to Sergio and Justin. But
Mm-hmm.
you can go ahead and submit the application through our portal for the $200 HRA, and you get paid 2 weeks after you submit the enrollment. So it's almost immediate. And also, we're continuing the gas card. If you might remember that we did the gas card program last year. So this year, it will continue through March 31st, okay, until further notice. It might be extended later on, but it's going to continue through March 31st, and it will be $100 per application.
Wow. Fantastic.
So
So,
really good incentive.
oh, that's amazing. Amazing. Um, and thank you, Heidi. I have a couple of things that I kind of want to do notes on what you mentioned. Is that okay?
Sure.
Yeah. So we also run across agents that might, they dabble with ACA, or they just have an exclusive ACA agreement with Florida Blue. And if you are one of those agents, just be careful because you cannot contract with Florida Blue Medicare separately with another FMO. You have to be fully exclusive, or you have to drop your IFP side and then go with an FMO. And did I explain that okay, Heidi?
You did perfect, and that is
Okay.
correct. And if you're one of those agents, I highly suggest you, before you do anything, you talk to your upline, which obviously in this case will be Justin, so
Mhm.
cover all your bases when it comes to a decision like that, because that's a big decision for sure.
Yeah, if you have a pretty big book of business, unfortunately Florida Blue doesn't let you travel with it. So if you leave that arrangement, then you're kind of what they call a suicide vest, I think is what the term I've heard. You blow up your book of business. You don't have it stays at Florida Blue, and then you got to kind of start all over on the IFP side. So if you are starting fresh with Florida Blue and you're interested in getting the Medicare contract, great, no problem. You can definitely do that, and we'll get you set up here at Healthline Markets. Just shoot us a note, and we'll get you set up. But unfortunately, the IFP, and let me just go back because I'm getting questions here. IFP is individual and family plans, also known as ACA, Affordable Care Act plans, because Florida Blue is a market leader for the individual space. And so, unfortunately, you can't have both contracts and be a full broker. I get that question a lot, so thank you for addressing that. Really appreciate it. The other thing is the
Sure.
DSNP. You guys have made it so easy to not have to worry about what level of Medicaid, as long as they have a Medicaid ID number and you verify that they have any type of Medicaid. But one question for you, Heidi, does that also include the I'm going to mess this up, QWDI, Qualified
Yes,
Working
it does.
Disability? It does. Wow. And you don't
It
see those
does.
often. You don't see those often, but a lot of the times those were disqualified from a DSNP. So that's great that you guys are including those folks as well.
Yeah, we're including the QDWI as well.
Awesome. And guys, knowing that Florida Blue now owns a company in Puerto Rico and having the flexibility for folks to come in and out and back and forth from the island is really important. We met with a group of agents that are working and opening an office in Puerto Rico, so there may be an opportunity there, which is fantastic. But diving deep into your communities, if you're an agent that's bilingual or works with the Puerto Rican community, Florida Blue has an answer for them. They have the network that they can use on the island and a network they can use in Orlando, so they can go back and forth and have a continuous healthcare solution. So that's unique. That does not happen everywhere. So keep that in mind if you bump into somebody that's going back and forth to the island. Um, and then to address the HRA and the EAP, yes, we do prefer that you guys use our Medicare Shop enrollment tool, but unfortunately, Florida Blue is on Shop, but the HRA is not yet linked there. I do know that those folks that have been using Shop have expressed interest in adding the HRA form. I will be going to Nashville next week to talk with Connecture, which is a software company that built our Medicare Shop enrollment tool, and we are addressing that. So that's between Florida Blue and Connecture. And I do know that they're talking about it. So that may be a result for next year. But the $200, I completely understand. If you guys are doing apps outside of Medicare Shop, we ask that you report them using our Medicare App Report tool. Some of you that have been with us for a while still have the link. It's still good. If you don't have it, please let us know and we'll get you the link, because we want to track those sales and we want to ensure that they get into your CRM system as well. And so, making sure that you get paid and we can help you and all that stuff. That's why we have that reporting tool there. And then lastly, $100 gas card, guys. That's awesome. I mean, think about it. You do 5 Florida Blue sales, you get $500. I don't know. That's like, I mean, gas prices are kind of going up again, but it seems like that's like 6 months worth of gas. Am I wrong? So I don't know. Very, very generous and amazing benefits there. So thank you, Heidi, for sharing all of that.
Thank you for having me. And again, anything that you need as far as materials, support, anything that you would like for me to support you in the community, if you're doing an event, I'm game for anything that you would like to do. So keep me in mind.
Awesome, awesome. And there's a couple questions here, and one of them I can answer. Will is asking, do you need to be licensed in Puerto Rico? So if your member claims residence here in Florida, the answer is no, because you can write them on a Florida Blue Medicare plan, and they can use that Florida Blue Medicare plan in Puerto Rico. Okay, so they have to be a resident here for you to enroll them with your Florida license. If you want to enroll people in Puerto Rico that live in Puerto Rico, Florida Blue, the brand is not in Puerto Rico, but I guess their daughter company or son or child company, Triple S,
Correct.
yes, is in
They
Puerto
will have to
Rico.
get certified with Triple S.
That's
Mm-hmm.
correct. So first, what you would need to do is you would need to get your Puerto Rican license, and that license is expensive. However, I am telling you that Health Plan Markets is in the process of getting our Puerto Rico license, so that's coming soon, which means that if you are interested in getting that license, you can, and that will allow you to enroll people that actually live on the island and reside on the island. Okay. So I know that's a sticky question, but if they're claiming residence here in Central Florida, then you can enroll them in a Florida Blue plan and they can use the Triple S network in Puerto Rico. Did I get that right?
That was perfect. Good
Okay.
job.
Awesome. Thank you. And then Heidi, is the correct name of the network in Puerto Rico, is it just called the Triple S network, or is there a special name for it?
There's really no special name for it. We call it the Triple S Network because that
Okay.
is the subsidiary name in Puerto Rico. That's why the name they go by, and
Right.
that's the name that everyone recognizes from the island. So that's deliberate. That's why we call it the Triple S Network, because people that are Puerto Ricans that live here, the ears will go up once they
Hmm.
hear the Triple S Network. Hmm.
Oh yeah. So you'll know. I mean, we might not know because we don't see it here, but if you've been to the island or if you've lived on the island, you know Triple S. It's very famous health plan, and now that they're part of Florida Blue, that's huge. And so if you bump into somebody, that's a selling point, especially if you learn that they go there. I mean, even if they go there 2 times a year and they're concerned about, well, what happens when I'm on the island? Yeah, emergencies, worldwide, urgent care, that's a thing. But a lot of the times they've lived there in the past and they want to go see their old doctor, or maybe they had Triple S in the past already, and it's kind of like they're getting both at the same time. They get two health plans at the same time, which is really, really cool. You don't see that often. So huge selling point. Don't let that go in case you bump into one of those folks that plans to go back, visits family, or maybe lives there part of the year. So Heidi, thank you very much. This was very helpful. We love to have you again. I know we've got some special events happening. Please keep us in the loop with any trainings or fun things that you guys are doing, and we'll definitely get it out to the team so we can participate.
That's perfect. I appreciate your partnership. Thank you so much for your time, and let's go and sell more blue. Thank you.
You got it. Go blue. Go blue.
Go
All right,
blue.
guys. All right, guys, we're at time. I really appreciate everyone sticking around for the call. If you have any questions, you know how to reach us, 844-696-3975. Or to make it simple, support at askhpm.com. You can shoot us an email there. And then again, we're here. You can chat with us on joinhpm.com as well. Really appreciate your time. Have a happy and safe Valentine's week. We'll see you here next week. Thanks, guys.